Friday after a video went viral of her telling a dubious story to a raucous crowd about Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and suggesting... I can't even read this. It makes me so mad. And suggesting she was mistaken for a suicide bomber in the Capitol. Congresswoman Omar criticized the comments for being made up and bigoted and is now calling on House leadership to take appropriate action against Boebert. Yesterday, Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy said in a statement he's working to facilitate a meeting between the two congresswomen. Notably, what he did not say was that Boebert's comments were wrong. I want to welcome my panel for the week. Congresswoman Maxine Waters, chair of the House Financial Services Committee, is back with us, along with Dean Obeidallah, columnist and host of SiriusXM's The Dean Obeidallah Show, and Sophia Nelson, author of E Pluribus One, columnist at USA Today, and contributing editor at The Griot. Thank you all for being here. All right. Dean, I am coming to you first. I know how Congresswoman Waters feels about this. We talked about this a moment ago. But, Dean, Lauren Boebert, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, what in the entire what is going on?
Look, I'm Muslim. I've been writing about the GOP's embrace of anti-Muslim bigotry since 2012. This is not new. Newt Gingrich, Herman Cain used it in 2012. Trump took it to new levels in 2016. The result was hate crimes against our community. Boebert is just doing what is a foundational principle in the GOP, which is demonize people of other faiths because it makes your base happy. And let's be very clear. Boebert has been demonizing Congressman Omar for months, calling her a terrorist sympathizer, saying that she's spokesperson for Hamas. She's been calling Rashida Tlaib, who's the only other Muslim female member of Congress, part of the jihad squad, because you get it, Jonathan, we're Muslims, so we're involved in terrorism. This is the vileness of the GOP. And look, they're not going to denounce it. This is who the GOP is. They've embraced bigotry. They use it. They've got no policies, but make people hate the other, and they make some happiness in their base. And that's a very sad state of where this GOP is.
And Sophia, as someone who is a member of the Republican Party, I mean, is Dean right? This has been a foundational thing for the Republican Party for a long time, the brand of Islamophobia as exhibited by Lauren Boebert.
You know, Jonathan, as the one person on this panel who used to identify as a Jack Kemp Republican proudly, those days are over for the Republican Party. And Lauren Boebert is a new kind of Republican that frankly has me concerned. It's certainly religious bigotry, but for me as a Black woman, it's something a little bit deeper. It's the way that I see some of our white sisters talking to their sisters of color, particularly in the House of Representatives. It's a demeaning way to compare her to a jihadist. And to say that they were in an elevator together, that's your colleague in the United States Congress, and you can do better than that. I think that Kevin McCarthy continues to be a spineless, I don't even have words for how disgusted I am by him. He's made a deal with the devil. He wants to be speaker, and he doesn't care what the cost is to the country or to the Congress. And I think we're going to a dark place because I think the Republicans are going to win big in 2022, actually. You know, they were very successful here in Virginia in this last election. And so I expect more of this, not less of it. And I think facilitating a conversation between Boebert and Omar at this point is useless because this has happened time and time again. She's called AOC, Presley, and Tlaib, the jihad squad. She's not going to stop. She's very intentional about what she's doing.
Let's put up on the screen some recent samplings of the Republicans' violent rhetoric that we've seen. You see Boebert, you know, her anti-Islamophobic remarks against Congresswoman Omar. You've got Congressman Gosar in the anime video. Marjorie Taylor Greene, that's just two of many things she has done, including getting up in the face of Congresswoman Cori Bush, so much so Congresswoman Bush moved her office because she felt threatened. And then you see Congressman Yoho for, you know, misogynistic remarks about Congresswoman Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, among other things. But Congresswoman Waters, since you're the only member of the House on this panel and on this show right now, are the Democrats going to hold on to the majority? How likely is it that when we're sitting across from each other in 2023 that you're going to be in the minority?
Well, we're working very hard, and we know that they are taking every action they can possibly take to demonize us and speak to that constituency out there. And that apology that you alluded to, they simply know what they're doing when they reach out to their constituency and they fire them all up. So the apology means nothing. As a matter of fact, she's gone viral on that accusation. And so we are working very hard, and we know that we've got to not only tell the people what we have done, but how we have done it. This has been a most responsible Democratic caucus, for example. And the President of the United States has led with Build Back Better. We responded to the pandemic in a fantastic way. All of the stimulus checks that have gone out, the support we gave to the unemployed, the support we gave to small businesses and to restaurants. And so we've not only had the CARES Act, but the American Rescue Plan. And now we're making sure that we get rid of poverty with children, with having something that was worked on so hard by the members of Congress to give this tax credit to families who are getting checks every month. And so we've got to tell the story about what we have done, how we have done it. The American people are going to be able to distinguish between us and them. And in the final analysis, we're going to win. We're going to beat them. We don't take anything for granted. We know that they're evil. We know that they lie. We know that they don't give a darn about facts. And so we've got to overcome that with the truth.
They're evil? I mean, that's a strong word, Congressman. Evil.
Oh, worse than that. Worse than that. Evil. When you see the kind of attacks that you have talked about already, that's constantly being made by them, that's evil. And I want you to know, I'm under attack also. Mm-hmm. They tried to censure me, and of course we beat them back with our slight majority that we have. And even, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I believe, has something up to expel me from the Congress of the United States. Can you imagine people with this kind of attitude and these kinds of actions and this kind of racism that they display all the time, talking about expelling me or anybody else from Congress when, in fact, they shouldn't even be there?
Because I was just about to say, wait, expel you?
Yes.
Given what they've done?
That's right.
You have a lot of nerve. I want to switch gears, Dean and Sophia, and talk about the January 6th committee.
Yes.
And the fact that starting tomorrow, a whole bunch of depositions are supposed to start happening starting tomorrow, November 29th. How likely, Dean, I'll come to you first on this. How likely is it that we're going to see more people defying their subpoenas, or are we going to see more people coming forward and giving testimony the way they're supposed to under subpoena?
I think you're going to see some. I think it was really important that the DOJ has indicted Steve Bannon, sends a very clear message. We're not playing games. This is a congressional subpoena. You're going to go to jail potentially if you don't comply with it. I hope Congress will consider subpoenaing Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert tweeted on January 6th that morning, today is 1776. 1776, as experts will say, that's code for the violent revolution to overthrow the government so Trump could have stayed in power. Lauren Boebert has been pictured with the 3 percenters, numerous who have been indicted and charged in January 6th being part of it. So I hope that Congress doesn't stop with just some of the Proud Boys, which they're subpoenaing, and Oath Keepers, but also Lauren Boebert. Let's hear what she has to say. What did she know, and why did she tweet the morning of January 6th? Today is 1776, when she knew that was code for violent revolution among those on the right. I'd like to hear that answer.
And Sophia, we have less than a minute. What do you think?
Jonathan, what I'm concerned about is our founding principles. Our founding fathers gave us 3 co-equal branches of government for a reason. Congress has oversight authority. And what I do not like, whether it's Democrat or Republican, is that the Congress won't even stand up for itself in this instance and understand that they want the right to issue subpoenas. They want people to comply with congressional oversight. And I totally expect more defiance. I totally expect more I'm not showing up, because that's the mood the country's in right now for a certain portion of us who don't believe they have to comply with congressional oversight. And that's a problem for us long term, Jonathan, for this democracy. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Don't go anywhere. My panel is staying put, and we'll react to sound from the other Sunday shows. You don't want to miss it.